From Las Vegas, we're at Gold Coast for the title matches of today's JBT tournaments. We again have both divisions at once, and these may or may not be the actual title games. They are the title matches, as we're in the Owadotat format today. There's only 2 bowlers left in each division, and interestingly enough, both bowlers have won. Both of these 2 bowlers up now have won 6 consecutive games to get to this point. Jakob Butturff, the 15 seed in scratch, and Brooke Martinez, the 13 seed in handicap. Undefeated to this point, but they're going to need to win 2 more times against their higher seeded opponents, number 2 Bryan and number 4 Jordan Ferrer. What you got?
I just put a copy of the receipt and I made the copy of everything for you.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you as always for a wonderful weekend.
You're welcome.
We'll do it again soon. The 2-hander Bryan. Little Oscar Jr. Doing pretty soft ball speed today. A lot of oil out there. Gets 10 in the pit. He just had a brilliant semifinal match, winning 261 to 258 over Joe Jarenser to get there, throwing the back 5 or 6 strikes in order to defeat Joe. Jordan's on fire as well over here in the scratch division. Didn't like the way that came out in sand, obviously. Only gets 7 there. Butturff's open was in the 2nd, so Jordan can lead by 14 if he spares up that headpin cluster, and Jake is even on the board but giving 11 pins to Brooke. Oh man, a blasted solid 9 there. It's the give and the take of the 2-handed delivery. All that power is great for carrying a little bit of off hits, but sometimes on those dead flush hits you need those solid 8s and 9s that are just painful to the pins, I'm sure. Painful to Jake as well. As Jordan misses that cluster. It looks like he's having some hand issues right now too. We'll talk about that and see how that plays out later on. Brooke, a longtime veteran of the tour, would love to finally win her first career title here. She's got a couple runner-up finishes, but has never tasted victory. Ah, yeah, beautiful shot there, and she does catch the early double. Again, getting 11 pins and has that early double for a 20-some-odd pin early lead. Jordan just won his semifinal match over Riley Dempsey with a 267 scratch game. So it was obviously clearly having some hand, maybe some cramping issues there. We bowled on the Kegel Autobahn pattern today. It started difficult and it has opened up game by game as Martinez makes it a 3-bagger. This looks like each game the lanes got easier and easier as they blow out a friction spot. Can't get it too far right. There's still plenty out of bounds out there, but if you avoid that, it looks pretty simple now. Leftover hold from the fresh to the way left and that burn spot way right. That's extremely left. Wow, and you see how much even that ball held. There's a ton of oil in the middle of the lane, and it just backed up there and got the Brooklyn hit. Jordan is definitely cramping up. We've seen it before, unfortunately. J.D. Nance was famous for cramping up in title matches, and you just kind of got to work it out. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. And those wrist cramps, you've got to feel for him here as he's been bowling so well. And Jakob obviously would feel bad for him too, but he's also, will happily take the breaks anywhere they come. Jordan's in pain right now. Beautiful double there from Bryan. That coulda, shoulda been 4 in a row, because that solid 9-pin was the only thing that got in the way of that from happening. Brooke still in the lead with that early triple here. We'll see if she can make it 4 in a row. Hey, look, there's one of our main sponsors, K&K Bowling, K&K Embroidery. Great sponsors of youth bowling as well as our tour and bowling in general. Nice set of pro shops up here in Vegas and beyond on the World Wide Web. Pretty good ball, just creeps up high, leaves only a 4-pin. Jordan just trying to work that wrist out. Wow, can't even get that hand on the ball. Take your time. There's no set amount of time a bowler has to complete a shot with us. There's not a shot clock or anything like that. Just kind of be gentlemanly about it. Switches to a plastic ball, goes hard and straight at the 4 and covers it up. By far more lower seeds have won in the Owadotat round today than we've ever seen in Owadotat before. The have one bowler with a double-digit seed in the title match. I think that's the first time that's ever happened in Owatta Tats. Ow. Oh, and a bad break to miss the spare. But it's definitely the first time it's ever happened twice in Owatta Tats. Jordan's going to try and have a medic break here. Oh, my bad. Let's flip the floppity that. This guy finished in third, and I gave him the fourth place plaque. How dare I do that? Unacceptable. She finished in fourth, not him. Her. Him, not her. Flip those back here. Tough little spare here for Martinez to try and cover up. No, she does. Nice job there. Crazy. Great job out of both of you guys. Make it 60 for third. Butturff struck in his third frame, a little half seven there in the fourth. Oh man, we talked about the two-hander release helping with the offhits. That was a perfect example there, as all that power just sucked out that fourth in. Butturff, a good spare shooter, of course. Cross lane covers up the seven. Broke through for his first career JBT title up at Cliff Castle earlier this season. Looking for the first win in his home Mojave Conference. The enigma that is Jakob. Here's another enigma named Jakob, though he goes by Jake. Jakob probably means that he's in trouble if that ever happens, right? That's right. Jakob Anthony Bryan, you get down here this instant. Is that sort of what it sounds like? Okay, all right. Same recognitions as me. How about that? Is it meant to be for the JBs? Oh, it's Ross. I guessed. It's Ross. It's not JAB, sorry. I had a 1 out of 500,000 chance of getting that right. I thought I'd go for it. See if Jordan's recovered from the cramp here. Jordan has so much snap on that ball in his normal delivery that he just can't get right now. He'll have to bump it right. If he can get the ball off his hand that way, at least he'll at least have a chance. He's got to make the adjustment on the lane to his usual board covering cranker shot. Meanwhile, nice shot from Martinez. We got a good one brewing here. Brooke trails by 3 on the board, but again getting those 11, so still leads by 8. Ferrer's going to try it this washout. Well, good job. Didn't quite cover it. It's third straight open and a big gift for the JB over on 7 and 8 right now. Look with this spare working. Oh no. And instead it's 8th frame disaster for Martinez. She leaves 4/5 of a Greek church here. Get your 2 pins, Brooke. Now let's see if Jordan bumps it off to the right here, expecting to not be able to catch all of it like he usually does. He did, much better shot. Alright, he's going to stick around in this match. He's tough. He's a tough guy. He's not going to give up on it. It's just, will his body allow him to stay close? And if not, he's got to figure out a way to physically regroup for game 2, because as the higher seed, he's got that second game cushion. 11 plus 11 for Brooke. Bryan working on a spare in the 8th. And another solid 9. The first one was just a blasted 9. That one was sort of one of those semi-4 9s. Could have fallen, didn't fall. Spare for Jordan there. It's hard to say spare for Ferrer. I just hope he strikes one. Much easier. Jake switches to a ball that hooks less, but look out. Oh my. When a two-hander squares up that much, it's always a nervous time. But he covers it up, that's all that matters. And grabs the lead with that spare by 5. Here's Butturff spare working in the 5th. That's way out there. So even though Jordan not bowling well, Jakob unable to put him away here in the early frames. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. Another nice shot from Bryan. All important strike in the 9th frame. That 9th frame is so important in bowling. So many matches won and lost in that frame, not the 8th. Brooke now trails, like we said, by about 5 pins. Would love to mesh Bryan with a 9th frame strike. Look at the great fundamentals that Martinez has. So many of our females do. Going way left. Oh, but left enough as the Brooklyn gets that 6 over at just the last moment. Necessary break for her. Jakob didn't love that off his hand, and that's why, my goodness, 4, 6, 7, 10. And Ferrer, through all that, could find himself trailing by less than a mark. Jakob's up quickly at the split, but this is the big shot here for Brooke. Yes! Boy, after going right through the face the last time in that lane, she either made a move or made a much better shot, and either way, the result is 10 in the pit. She can strike out for 221, and Bryan can still strike out for 237, so Jake not shut out no matter what Brooke does, but this ball makes Bryan's life a lot more difficult. Ferrer gets a little, no, it's not catching on that ball. It gets to the out of bounds and won't recover at normal rotation. Let's see that now. Oh! Good ball. Almost got the 4-pin to trip that time. She spares it up for 210. Jake goes spare strike for 217, which would make Brooke a winner. So Jake is going to have to strike on this first ball to win the tournament. Anything less, we'll play another game of bowling. Because you know what? Why the heck not? It's 4 o'clock on Sunday. All right. Well, Jake looked like he was going to have to play another game against Joe last match, and he came up with the last 5 strikes to steal that match away. All he needs is 1 here to become JBT champ. It's there. It's there! Yes, sir. Jake was brand new to us at the start of the season. He's barely missed a tournament since. He finished 2nd very early on. Finally got himself back up into the top 5, and now he's going to get himself into the winner's circle. All right. Oh, Jordan does get that ball to come up. Strike for him. Stay behind the line, Jake. That's behind the line. That's a title. Jakob Ross, Bryan, you're a JBT champion. Get down here right now. That's 3 first names. Yeah. What's up with that? 226 is enough. Great job from Bryan. We'll be back with part 2 and the finish of the scratch. Let's catch one more match of scratch here. Winner, winner. Oh, pitch out from Butturff there. We'll be back with the second half of this.